I met a gypsy.
We have to know what if Eli Tomac's posting that he's stretching his Achilles. Like, I need to know that, you know? And
Speaking of, let's take a break in the middle of this. You talked to Tomac.
I did talk to Tomac
yesterday at length at Washougal this past weekend.
length?
Yeah, so
you can say most of it for yourself, but at least give us a little Tomac juice before we go back to the story.
Give us a social clip.
so I spoke to Eli Tomac yesterday. He looked really good.
Yep. Was he walking?
He was cruising, bro.
Walking.
Shut up.
Walking.
He had boots on. He was doing his photos and stuff. He looked like he wanted to ride.
He's back.
He was talking about like tires and stuff. And he's one dude. I don't think anyone really knows that much stuff about him.
No.
But I mean, there's a photo of me, him, Roxon, and Will Hahn in like 2011 or 2012, right? And that's probably the extent of the interactions I've actually had with Eli.
Right.
So yeah, yesterday I got to have like a bit of a chat with him, and yeah, super, super nice guy. And I'm hopefully coming to a podcast near you.
Yes, I was going to ask you, going to get him on.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
He doesn't do much like he's very like, he loves to go in Colorado, hang out. Like,
I mean, I get it.
In the media.
I get it. Like
just do you, right?
And there's mystery behind him. You know what I mean? And
I think it's part of his persona, right? I think it is a bit of it is intentional.
I think that's good and bad.
I'm going to show up. I'm going to stare a hole through you. And I mean, more to its competitors, not to the media. I don't. But like, I think even within the pits, or like, I would guess, obviously, like the Cooper Webbs and stuff, because they've grown up, right? But like, if you're Hayden Deegan, dude, you don't know anything about Eli Tomac. But it's like, wow.
That's a good point to bring up, though. Mystery, I think when you're that big of a mystery, it's hard to transcend our sport.
Yeah.
And so Hayden Deegan has transcended our sport indefinitely and will forever. Care. And maybe he doesn't. But I don't think he does. When you look back at your legacy, I don't know. I, for one, am someone that would be like, all right, cool. I mean, I made a really cool impact in this niche. But he could have done so. Oh, of course. I mean,
I think it's a different mindset.
Don't get me wrong. I think when you get in 450 and you're training that hard all the damn time and it's that gnarly of a job, everything else you just want to fuck off.
Yeah. I'm all about you doing whatever's really genuine to you, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that, you know, a guy like, I always go back to like the Jason Lawrence. Like that was him. Like he wasn't trying to be.
He wasn't faking it.
He wasn't trying to be this crazy out there motherfucker to get views. I mean, there wasn't really views.
He wanted to do that because he
was about that life. And when you're about that life, I'm like, bro, do you?
I totally
But when
agree,
and Tomac is about that life. Like he's living the life that he wants to do, you know?
I just often wonder if they look back, even Villapoto at times, now that he's living life and can say, man, I wish I had done this, that, or the other. But even knowing how hard we roll on the weekends and how much production we're doing, and it's just boom, boom, boom. I got kids at home now. A lot of times, like even going back to social media, I don't even want to mess with it. And imagine the amount of people he has to talk to. And I'm not just him. Everyone. If you're a professional rider, the amount of people you got to talk to, the amount of autographs you sign, the amount of times you always have to be in a good mood.
Yeah.
It is, that part alone is draining. And then add on the amount of training that you have to do on top. So I can totally understand why Villapoto, Dunge, Tomac ended up being the way they were, personality wise, and being reserved in that sense. But
also you're just like opening yourself up to just so much judgment.
Absolutely. Dude, you can't post anything without some asshole. You could be like, good morning. Yeah, for you.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? I was just saying, hey, everybody. Like, for your privilege. And it's like,
fair. And it's hard to you're not in their shoes. It's hard to say how you would or wouldn't be.
Oh, I can tell you right now, I would be
you're right. I'm a Tomac through and through. There's no way I could be a Travis Pastrana.
I would be an asshole. Yeah. Like, that many people would freak me out. Like I would just be like, nope, get out of my face.
Pastrana's a good one. We've been around him and shot so much. I've never seen him be mean to us or anybody. No. He's always in a good mood, and it's hard enough just even our small amount of notoriety at a race sometimes when you're focused and you need to do stuff and like people are interrupting you. It's like, I got shit to do. Like I'm supposed to be at this pit to shoot this, and people are trying to interact with you, and like, you try the best you can. I cannot imagine having that amount of notoriety.
I wouldn't want it. And I don't think, I think Tomac's like Anderson, like they just like riding dirt bikes. It just happens to be, they're very good at it.
Yeah.
And so like even Anderson, after he won that title, dude, like he just,
I think
shut down, bro.
The sport is like pretty one dimensional, or it was pretty one dimensional for a long time when it comes to the kind of person you could be in the sport. And like when you look at like a Jason Anderson, right? Like when he did Gypsy Tales, like we talked about a lot of stuff other than racing. And that was the big thing with me with doing the podcast. Is I'm like, if you want to talk about your fucking cats, bro, I'll get deep
Let's talk about Fluffy.
I'll get deep into cats with you, man. I'm allergic to shit.
You probably read 13 books on them, though.
Yeah. Watched a bunch of YouTube videos. But it's
you know the interior workings of a cat's mind.
Cat psychology. Yeah. But, I think that when there's like not a place for you to kind of be yourself, like when the sport kind of like really molds you to say a certain thing, and whether it's intentional or not, and it's like the generations start to follow, like then there's a Ricky mold, then there's the Dungy mold, and I think that there's some guys where they're just like, man, I'm just not this guy, like I don't fit here. And Jason Anderson, I think cool as fuck. When you know him and you talk to him away from the races and whatever, he's the dope dude. He's into much cool stuff.
They all are. They're all pretty 100%. Damn rad when you get them on there.
Dude. I mean, I've had very few where I'm like, that dude's an asshole.
It's what the 450 class does to you. I don't care if you're Ken Roxon or Adam Cianciarulo. When you
look at Webb
all of them
talking so much smack, and then he got the 450 class, got humbled for a couple of years, and then he went to KTM, which I agree. Like KTM is that brand that's like, hey, do not cause a ruckus, right? Like. To me, I think we lost some of Webb's personality, right? Like we saw it a little bit.
I don't think it matters where you go. I think the 450, 2-3 years.
Too many races, bro.
Too many races. And like going back to what I just said, you're talking to too many people. You're signing too many autographs. You're doing too many things on Friday nights. Too many sponsor engagements. 17 weekends in a row. Then you get a weekend off to freaking figure out how to ride outdoors. Then you got now 11 plus another 3 plus Motocross of Nations. If you do really good, there's no time for yourself.
Well, and the thing is like you're going to Washougal. No, you're not. You're going to PDX.
Yeah.
You're going to a hotel.
Yep.
You're going to the track. The semi looks the same.
Yep.
The same people are there. The same fans are there. Then you go back to the hotel. Then you go to PDX. And then
it's 6 in the morning.
The same.
6 in the morning.
You're just doing the same shit every single. And it's like, it's literally just Groundhog Day. And then you've got to do it so many times.
Well, and then like.
Yeah, if you stay healthy.
And
it's just survival mode,
Not to be, but like how you said, and it's what it's in regular, they call it beat reporters, right? Like if you're a beat reporter for the Yankees, you're going to every game, you're talking about the games, right? Like you're not necessarily doing what he does, which is it's very easy to go like, I guess what I mean in a press conference, I'm not going to ask Chase Sexton about his fucking cat because no one cares. They care about the racing. So like,
but I don't know. Like I wish people would talk more shit. Like if I was in the, I only got to be in a press conference in the afternoon, like this 451. So I didn't do the 251, but it's like, dude, ask Deegan what shoes he's going to buy with this race. Right. You know what I mean?
It's a great question. Yeah.
There is room to do it. People don't seem to do it. I'm not saying there's not room
to do it, but a lot of people like their job is which is most of our, like the fans, they want to know about the racing. They want to know why Sexton fell in that turn. They want to know why so don't get me wrong, there is room for it. So like, but I get, like after 17 straight rounds of a press conference, Jet's like, what else are you going to ask me?
And I've been here 17 vice versa weeks. For the media. I think,
what else am I going to ask
when you're doing it week by week, and like same with us,
it's hard.
Creatively when you're shooting Jet and Hunter all the time, you're
how
always
do you make this look different.
And sometimes like you just creativity gets zapped, so you don't even think that because you're so blinded by uninspired events. You're like, I'm just doing this again. So yeah, when you come in for the first time and you're fresh, I think it's easy to think that way.
It is, because I've done the beat reporting when I was at Racer X, dude. I would go to a lot of the races, and I'm telling you, by the end of it, it's like, because mostly it's the same 3 guys. It's like, good Lord, dude, what else am I asking Jason Anderson?
And it's all about efficiency. You have so much you got to get done on the night or the next week. You don't need anything superfluous. When we go shoot, I know exactly how much to get, when to shoot, how to shoot in order to be able to turn it around as quick as we do, right? So we could shoot all day and I could ask him a million questions and get this, that, the other, but I know what my end client's going to cut. Yeah, so a lot of times I don't even mess with that kind of shit because I'm like, and the time 2-3 people have to have their hands on it before it even goes to an editor. So like a lot of times I'm just like, Danny Stew's the worst. They'll be like, dude, should we be shooting this? And I'm like, we'll never use it.
Never use it.
But like, that's what happens after 5-6 years of shooting these dudes. I just know so much of, of course in the moment you're like, dude, a fan would love this. And I'm like, yeah, where's it going to go?
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, gypsytales.com. packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.